Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to anyone who celebrates, and if not, I hope you're having a good day anyway. I'm Ocean, if you've never been here before, and I'm going to be doing an energy check-in, an energy read, whatever you want to call it, and you were brought here by your guides, by your higher self, to receive a message from me. Maybe all the video is a message for you, maybe 2 minutes is going to be a message for you. I don't know, you decide what's a message for you because you know your life better than I do. I'm just a messenger. It's nice to have you here. I hope you're having a good day, night, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And I am going to start this video a bit different. I've never done this before, but I kind of clocked my book from Kyle Gray, Raise Your Vibration, and I feel like I want to read a message from this. I picked a random one. I set the intention for it to be a collective message for us, and I'm not fully familiar with the book yet. I don't really know the order in which any of the messages come through. So I turned the book upside down and I flipped through a page until I felt like I should stop, and I declared that this would be our message for today, and it is also going to be a message that I'm going to keep channeling about. I'm probably going to read some tarot on it. I'm probably going to get some oracle message. I don't know. I'm just going to see what we're going to do, what I'm guided to do, and what resonates. So the message that came through, Vibe 31, love yourself. Loving yourself is probably one of the more challenging aspects of raising your vibration. The reason this can be hard is because the ego likes to challenge you on it. Every time you move into a more loving space, the ego will create its own plan or tell you what you don't want to hear. The ego, as we learned a few lessons ago, is just doing its job. It's giving you the opportunity to trust what you know to be true. But it's time to go beyond what you've sabotaged yourself with in the past. Loving yourself means truly honouring who you are. It doesn't always mean looking in the mirror and telling yourself, I love you. It can sometimes be about the decisions you make in your life. Here are some examples. Not allowing others to treat you badly, giving yourself time to do the things you love, and moving into a state of forgiveness with others because it removes the toxicity from within you. Through self-love, realize that you are able to draw more universal light into yourself and raise your vibration to its optimum strength. Your ability to love yourself and respect who you are will become a healing wave that inspires those around you. And the vibe of the day, which is a message that you can affirm to yourself along with me or after you've watched this video. I just seen 333 in the timer. Today I choose to love myself enough to say no to bad behaviour or toxic emotions and make room in myself to be nourished by light. I realise that how I see myself has everything to do with how the world sees me. I choose to look at myself in a loving way and allow that loving wave to wash from me and throughout the world. Today I love myself enough to make the changes I need to feel loved and accepted. And I have added the numbers up on the page. So it's 138, so that will be the number 12, which adds up to the number 3. And then the next page, 139, will be number 13, which will add up to the number 4. The number 3 symbolises, it can be groups of 3, it can be cooperation, it can be receiving support, I'm thinking of the Three of Pentacles. It can be the Holy Trinity. It can be associated with the Empress, which is fertility, groundedness, abundance. And the number 4 can also represent home life, stability. I'm thinking the 4th house in astrology, which represents the inner world of emotions, self-authority, family, past trauma. So this really connects with our message of releasing toxic emotions, even just to prove to yourself that you can, and to release anything holding you back from, I would say, your highest timeline. And if you've been through a difficult time recently because of Christmas, or just from things that are happening kind of astrologically with the frequency of the planet shifting, you're not alone. And especially if you're highly sensitive, it is deeply recommended for you to put yourself first, and even to make 10-15 minutes a priority to do something you enjoy, whether that's solving a puzzle, or reading, or painting, or meditating, or going out in nature, or communing with friends, or going to church. Find that thing that really brings you back to yourself, especially if you are going through a difficult time with something regarding the things I've already brought up, or family, you know. Christmas can be a difficult time for people regarding family connections, loneliness, and you are definitely not lonely even if you feel like you're alone. If you have no one around you, that doesn't mean you are lonely, because you just have so much love and support, there we are, that's better, around you, and even if it's not always obvious, it's always there. So I'm gonna start from the Divine Masters Oracle. On the bottom of the deck we have Kuan Yin. Your self-love journey might lead to a soulmate connection, and I say that because underneath Kuan Yin, this was from the last time I used this deck, but I have cleansed it, we have Sita and Rama with Holy Union. And when I grabbed this deck, because I thought I was going to use this one first, I split the deck to Romance and Connection just then, but I didn't say I did that. So I don't know. Choose compassion, move forward with grace. What is a collective message regarding our self-love message from the book I just read from? Can we have a further message from the Ascended Masters regarding the message from the Raise Your Vibration book? The Buddha keeps popping out. Thank you. Mary Magdalene is peeking out too. Archangel Michael, Archangel Faith. We have Metatron and Sandalphon on the bottom of the deck. Sacred Connection. Synchronicity, Divine Connection, Understanding Lessons. I dropped one as well, but I'm not going to take it because it landed on the floor. So Embrace your power. Vajrayogini, transcending fear. We have the Buddha here, Archangel Michael, Archangel Faith, and Mary Magdalene. You are protected through every process you are going through, even if it feels unpleasant and even if it feels scary. Anything supernatural that's happening to you at this time is, don't be scared of it. If you experience anything supernatural in yourself, don't be scared of it. I say that because I was picturing the scene in Twilight when Edward kicks the apple off his shoe and catches it. That's pretty magic, isn't it? This period of time might evoke maybe not difficult feelings anymore because you've processed the difficult, heavy aspects of these feelings, but it's still Christmas, isn't it? And we still think about our connections to other people and even connections that are not very easy for us to contend with. But there's some kind of breakthrough coming here in regards to your self-love journey. Maybe in regards to facing your fears or defending yourself or choosing yourself, whatever way that looks like, in whatever way that looks like for you. I get a sense that the energy feels so soft, so even though there's kind of very strong energies here with Archangel Michael and Vajrayogini, who's very fiery, incredibly powerful, encouraging you to embrace your power, there is a sense of embrace your power in the softest way that you can. Especially with Mary Magdalene here. Mary Magdalene was never forcing her hand when it came to her power. Her internal power was never in question, right? Softness is just really at the forefront here. We got Jesus coming through a little bit. And you can always call upon Archangel Michael to cut any cords to anything hindering your heightened awareness. Anything that's blocking your heart off from experiencing or giving, receiving the purest form of love. If you're struggling with your thoughts about other people, whether it's times past or people are being disrespectful to you in this moment, call upon Archangel Michael to help you cut any power that has over you, because it's going to really serve you to leave this kind of thing in 2025. Yeah, we have awareness at the bottom of my unicorn deck as well. Live in the moment, be conscious of your thoughts, look for signs and guidance. I'm hearing One Love by Bob Marley. And things just get so much easier when you realise that even the most difficult person in your life, you can't control the way that they think. And that is something that is so peaceful in and of itself. When we are light workers, we often put pressure on ourselves to fix and even micromanage the way that other people think, feel, behave and act. We want to save them from themselves and get frustrated when we can't, but that's not the thing that is going to bring you peace. Ever. The unicorn message. We have 2 cards. Patience has come up again. This is a process. Courage. You are safe. Fear is an illusion. Set strong boundaries. Set strong boundaries with your difficult thoughts, maybe. Patience. Pause before taking action. Trust that divine timing is at work. Be patient and play it whilst you wait. This one is a super Christmassy card because of the trees and the foliage around here. Holly bushes and fir trees and stuff like that. We have the Northern Lights here, and this is super blue. This is really giving Archangel Michael energy. Yeah, there's like sort of like a deep sigh of relief of I'm letting go of fear. Fear's coming up a few times here. And you're being called to remember about your divine protection. Also, I feel the need to quickly mention that when I first started my spiritual journey, the way I connected to that extra support looks very different to how I sense it and feel it today. Sometimes I don't feel it at all and I just have to believe that it's there. So if you are evolving on your path, which I presume you are, because you're here watching a tarot video, you might feel nervous if your sense of connection to the divine or your team spirit or whatever you want to call it, your higher self, if that looks different to the way it did when you first started this journey, that is completely normal, and you are not any less safe, guided or protected because it is not showing up the way it used to for you. It's simply just a connection that is transcending, and with that transcendence, that connection is evolving. It's the same way where you raise your vibration and you don't attract the same kind of relationships anymore because you've just evolved out of that frequency. If you are feeling fear over this specifically, you needn't feel fear, okay? If you are looking for the signs you used to look for and they're not appearing the way you're used to them appearing, your frequency is shifting, so your connection to your guides, to Mary Magdalene, Michael, any of your archangels, any other guides, it's evolving. Maybe you're receiving connection from new guides, I don't know, but you're being called to understand that the shifts you're making in your own frequency, embracing self-love, making peace with your mind, that is sort of gonna evolve, and you really needn't be scared, okay? You really needn't be scared. Let me do one from each. Let's do the outcome for for both decks. Yeah. Romance and Connection again. I just split it to the deck. I just split it to Romance and Connection. I'm not taking all of those cards. They just all fell on the floor. You could be guided to embrace Buddhist traditions or the Buddhist path. We've got Buddha here, of course, and then another at the bottom of the deck, Ease and Grace. There could be some very wise counsel on the path of Buddhism for you at this time. There's a big message of taking time out from the world and playing and just embracing play. For yourself and also the other aspects of your psyche if you're in a child. There might be a part of your inner child that is really, I just saw 2121 in the timer, by the way. There might be a part of your inner child that is really struggling with loneliness, and that is pronounced during this time of the year. What is the collective resolution, outcome, etc., etc.? Oh, you want to pop out, I think. Yeah. Should I do a second one? Inner child healing at the bottom of the deck. I just saw 2211. Yeah. Any other messages wanting to come through? You are just so incredibly safe. Even if it doesn't feel that way. Honesty and communication at the bottom of the deck. This spirit guide kind of, I think, looks like a child as well. I always think this... Yeah, I always think this angel looks like a kid, which is pretty cute. Let me put that here. And then I'll just get one from this humongous deck. I don't know why I'm using this deck again, because it is just so difficult to shuffle. But we'll get 2 cards. I don't know, universe, you tell me how many cards we need from this deck. For conclusion, for... No, not that many. Ah, fine, okay. 4. 4? Four feels excessive. Ask and receive. With composure as well. Ask and you shall receive. More imagery of Michael with the blue flame and the sword as well. Spend more time in meditation and contemplation. Receive the support you're asking for. Make sure you have the space to receive the support that you're asking for from your spirit guides. And patience. Oh yeah, we have patience here. Yeah. Be patient. I think softness is bringing you into a space of deeper surrender and personal composure for your life at this time. I get the sense this is really going to help you with any kind of divine connection. If you've recently met someone and they have stirred something within you, this is not the purpose of anything we evolve for. Other people are not the reason we evolve, but other people are typically what we align with when we choose to evolve. And I can't stop thinking about the sense of divine connection coming through when I keep picking up the decks and it's sort of bringing itself out. The message is wanting to come out. Yeah. Message again. Embrace play while you soften up. Two of Pentacles. Developing a penchant, is that a word? Developing the ability to multitask successfully, or juggling multiple priorities. You could be gaining multiple jobs or developing multiple skills. More messages about patience as well. Satisfaction from a job well done. Keeping a list of priorities regarding what you're looking for long term in this message. There's lots of flowers here. There's a bunch of flowers here, and she's holding a bunch of flowers here too. She is this is a fairy deck, but she's kind of a butterfly, and then there's another butterfly next to her there. So there's some connection to integrating higher frequencies with your crown. Even a sense of like royalty here. Spiritual royalty, spiritual sovereignty. This could be like a last little piece of this part of your journey where you are struggling. If you've struggled with wanting to micromanage other people because you know you have the best intentions for the world and stuff, this can be the last little bit of that sort of washing itself away from you, walking away with the Eight of Cups. There's a sense of walking away with the most minimal amounts of things so you're not weighed down, and you transcending fear, you acknowledging you have all of this powerful divine master energy surrounding you, you being guided to your own courage, or you reconnecting to your own courage because everything else is just being cleared away from you. And your guides helping you embody a sense of composure when it comes to this next chapter. Oh, my tummy. Yeah. You may still feel the sense of wanting to micromanage, so you know exactly what's going on. And there is a frequent message of playing and bringing fun and lightheartedness into what you're doing. Not being too serious. I feel like the message is repeating itself, but you're coming up as the Queen of Winter. And if you're not, you're being called to embrace this energy. We have one of each suit here. We've got Pentacles. So it's autumn, spring, summer, winter. But autumn in this deck is Pentacles, spring is Wands, summer is Cups, and winter is Swords. So that's a nice kind of balance of all the elements. Let go of people or things that no longer serve you. Now is the time to focus on your career. Unmarried or divorced individuals. You are embodying traits of strength, patience again, self-sufficiency, and being light-hearted. Might not be an energy you consistently maintain permanently, but you are stepping into that kind of energy without losing your softness, if that makes any sense. Well done. Well done. Do I have any more messages? Yeah, I think that's it. So if you're in a transitional phase, especially regarding your career, you have what it takes to move forward, and there is an encouragement here to remember that you have it in you to make those changes, and also reflect on times you've made big transitions in your life. Maybe you moved to a different city or state, maybe you separated from the partner you thought you were going to marry, maybe you lost a best friend or something like that, you know. Think of the times you dealt with these big transitions and maybe they felt a bit ungrounding, maybe you didn't have the skills to deal with those things that you do now. And think of how you didn't die. Think of how nothing so bad happened that it took you out of life completely. Remember how you survived 100% of your worst days, because you did. And have courage, be playful, remember you're protected, and ask for and receive support because you're worthy. Merry Christmas. I love you.